Welcome, everybody, to another exciting edition of the Triple B Experience. Friday night at 9 p.m. It's 9:01. I'm here, and I am so excited to bring this gentleman on. To me, he's the godfather of podcasting. He helped me out so much and tremendously in my young podcast days, and we used to do a show called the Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast. He's doing his own stuff. He's created radio stations. He's doing this great show where they're eating like hoagies and sandwiches. And it's my honor to bring this guy from Pittsburgh on, a good friend of mine, Mr. Double D Todd DeFazio. Todd, how you doing, brother?
What's up, man? I think the Godfather comment I'm honored that you say that, but I think it would create a lot of controversies in some circles. Um, you know,
Well, I don't want to start controversy, but sometimes I do on this
being the
show.
guy with the pipe bomb sometimes gets in trouble, and I've definitely dropped a few in my time, and but no, it's that's a huge compliment coming from you. I think you're the hardest working man in the business, and I love it.
Oh, well, God bless you. But you taught me so much. I mean, you have. I mean, you were a driving force, Todd. I mean, and everybody, he had a studio in his house that was phenomenal. And I know he still does.
It's
And
collecting dust down there. I have a buddy of mine that uses it once a week, and
okay.
yeah, but it's I have some ideas. I'm gonna start reworking things.
Well, that's the thing about you. You're always thinking outside the box. You're thinking about stuff. Hey, Ralph Williams, thanks for tuning in to this podcast tonight. Anybody that's got questions and comments for Double D, because he's got a lot of stuff going on. He wants to make some announcements because usually he's the one running, doing his stuff and being the lead charge. And I'm honored, and I want to make sure I do everything that he used to do, because he used to have like formats and computers and all this and graphics and
this is great. I like being on this side for a change, doing changing gears a little bit and doing a little doing something out of my comfort zone. And when I hooked up with Oneberg, it kind of working with Giant Brian Carruthers. I was the executive producer of the Incline Show.
yeah,
I kind of
that was going
dormant.
good.
Yeah, I sat dormant for a good while. I took a corporate job, and I didn't want to get too risky. And some of the stuff that we used to do was pretty crazy. So I kind of just took a step back from that life a little bit, and
Trying to be more respectable, trying to be more
yeah,
professional.
I just didn't want to say anything crazy and get canceled or whatever. So, working with him and working with Oneberg and the Incline Show, and being around somebody who has that creative mind, like I have, and we're very similar on how we we're almost, it's almost obsessive how we think and work, and it's weird being around somebody who's so like-minded that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of pushed me back into to where I'm at now, and it's a nice feeling but like I said, it's strange waters, it's different territory. And
well, how's it so strange from now to way back when you were doing stuff, and you've been all over Pittsburgh media? Like, I don't know. I mean, you can explain to everybody on my side of the world up here, because if they don't know you, you've been in this limelight for a long, long time.
well, I mean, like I always joke and say, like, I'm on the Z list of Pittsburgh. So, but yeah, I mean, I started out. My buddies and I were. It was around the time Howard Stern went away, like 2005. He went in Pittsburgh. He went away for like, I'd say, a good year or so. I think everywhere he went away for a good year. And he was going to Sirius, and the X canceled his. They canceled his contract, and then they picked him up on CBS radio, which is now the Fan 93.7. They had the Man station, and they brought Howard in for his last year. I'm sure they cashed in pretty nice on that last year, because the X just, I guess, Clear Channel went away from, they were done with him because he was going to everyone knew he was going to Sirius. So my buddies and I, the drunken idea, hey, we could do this, man. So it was like a podcast before there were podcasts. We sat around in a bar, and they were our sponsor. And
that's good. You got free beer and free food.
We had a CD burner, and we recorded the show, and I edited it down, and we had subscribers. It was $10 a year, and we would mail the CD out. It was just mainly just to cover the costs. I think that at its peak we had like 30 subscribers. So we were
got as many as I got on my podcast right now. But hey,
it was cool because like we had, we were mailing them out, we were selling them in the bar, and it was like a 4-hour once a month show, and it was fun. It was just me and my buds hanging out, and then as time changed and technology changed, we evolved with it, and we ended up doing a live broadcast similar to this. Back in, I don't know, 2008, 2009.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You're the godfather of this, man.
In my basement of my house, we were doing it live on it wasn't video, it was just audio, but it was streamed. And we had live callers and everything. And I kind of followed suit from one of the guys I idolized, Kid Chris, and I would kind of follow patterns of him and study what he did and try to make it real life for myself. And, it was he set a lot of pathways, and it was easy to follow. But yeah, we did that live, Village Idiots, we called ourselves. And it was like a morph between Jackass and Howard Stern. We'd always end the show with some crazy stunt. I'd stick my tongue in a mouse trap or something. And so then we were streaming. So then we were getting hundreds of people. We went from 30 subscribers from CDs getting mailed out to hundreds of people.
Nice.
The world listening, calling in, and it was cool. I was married to my first wife at the time, and she hated everything. So that was it was easy to write those shows because I would run everything by her. And she hated it. That's what we were doing that night on the show.
Oh man, that's funny.
I think I might wear a dress and run down the street doing a 40-yard dash. Well, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. That's what we did on the show.
Oh, that pissed her off then.
Oh yeah. The more that she would get pissed, that would be the driving force to do the show.
Oh, man. That's funny. I got some guys that said hello. Ralph Williams said, hi, Todd.
Hey, what's up, Ralph?
Larry Stryker said, hey, guys. Larry Stryker is...
hey, Stryker. How them guys doing over in that podcast?
Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. There he is.
Guys over there. Good guys over there. I like that logo. That logo is pretty nice.
Yeah. Who did that logo?
I don't know.
I'm bringing them on Tuesday. It'll be controversial.
Yeah. Good guys over there. Good
wrestling. So you did a lot of stuff. I mean, seriously, you have done a lot of stuff in the Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area.
Well, from that's when so then we started getting a little attention because the Village Idiots. I mean, we're all the size of wrestlers and football players. We're loud, and we take up a lot of space when we would go places, and we would draw attention to ourselves. And you see large men in dresses
that'd be crazy, man.
I mean, the one time we did March Madness, and Big Mike is 6'8", and we would have him and another guy play basketball in the middle of like a Kogo's, and we had like a portable hoop and a referee, and we would do March Madness and different.
You guys ever bring the law call? Was ever called when you guys did this stuff?
No, the only time the law was really crazy, when I was on B94, we were going, or no, not B94. I was on Star. I was on the Star morning show with J.R. Bubba Shelley, and I was going to swim from the point to Station Square.
Holy shit.
We were going to do a world record, and the River Rescue, the chief of River Rescue, he mother effed me up and down, and it was bad. If I would have gotten in the water, they were putting cuffs on me.
Wow.
So that was the close. I mean, considering like a lot of the stuff we've done, that was that was the thing that was going to set it over the edge. But yeah, I mean, I had one time where I was at a laundromat and they stole my clothes, and I was
Oh my
I
God!
was running around town in my underwear.
Ratings.
We made it. Yeah, it was more of a, like, I don't think anybody cared because I had boxers. Just looking at it, said no
Right.
shirt on. But like they made a big bit of it. Like I was lost in the city and stuff.
Oh my
And
God!
it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, we
So,
had from that streaming, we ended up in doing we hooked up with Buckhead and Bubba on B94, and that was like a dream come true. Like I wanted to be Bubba, I wanted to be the Bubba guy, the crazy guy on the radio,
mm-hmm.
and that was that was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, you done some stuff. I mean, there's video of you doing stuff out there that's some crazy shit.
Yeah, we did some. It was funny because I was like that was like my opportunity to get in the door doing my live stream. Unfortunately, it didn't. It took its own path, which was great. But I mean, my goal was to be a morning show host, and but I was like a sponge. I befriended everybody in the radio studio. The station manager Kobe was on the afternoons, and I would come hang out on his show. I would hang out at the night show, Flick at Night. Any chance I could get into that studio, I would hang out with the Ron man.
Networking.
I was just learning, and Kobe taught me a lot of the business stuff, which transcended into when Idiot Radio came along. We took a lot of those things. I took a lot of those things that he taught me, and for promotional and things like that. He had a great mind for that stuff, and I took all that stuff with me. So it was great experiences.
You can see. I got comments. Mr. Dean Radford's in the house. He said, "What's up, fuckers?" And he goes, I watched Double D make a gerbil disappear once. That's what he said.
That might be an urban legend. That might be an urban legend, but
I had to say it.
I can't confirm or deny that.
I understand. Well,
if it did disappear, I ate it.
Well, back in the day when you were doing that, you were doing these world records of eating. Yeah, I mean, you're a world record breaker.
I've kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything. The world of wrestling,
wrestling,
DJing, radio. I just keep throwing things off the wall, hoping something will stick someday. And it just so happened when I was at B94, there was an intern. God bless his soul, he's no longer with us. My buddy Cookie, he passed away last year. He was a competitive eater. One of the nicest human beings I ever met, and he was ranked in the world, or not in the world. I'm sorry, in the tri-state area, like West Virginia, Ohio, Pittsburgh. Like he was ranked in the top 5, and because I'm large, they went out for some reason when I was at B94. They always wanted to put me in the Speedo, and they always wanted me to eat stuff.
That's it. Those two things. That's two things they wanted you to do.
That's it. They always found ways to get me in a Speedo and to eat stuff. And my buddy Cookie Tim, he was a competitive eater, so he was interning on Flick, the afternoon show, and I was always on the Kobe show, and they were back to back. So we would do like Friday happy hour shows and stuff like that. So of course it was Kobe's versus Flick, and Tim and I would race each other, and I just found I just was talented. Like I would win. So then I found out that I had this talent that I could eat fast and eat a lot. And
that's a talent. I mean, I feel you because I'm like that. I used to be like that too, but I don't know. It's harder when you get older.
I became a competitive eater for a while and got some eating world records. And
how in the fuck do you train to be a competitive eater?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
you didn't train. You just went in and did it.
And it's a young man's game because I did the last one I did. My poor wife, I barfed all over her. Um,
Oh no.
so that's when I realized it was time to hang that game up. But I do.
At
I'm
least before
taking
I
the
kill you.
shirt out of the rafters one more time. 1 week from tonight, I'm gonna do a challenge. It's called the Wolfpack Challenge at the Kickstand in Brookline. The Kickstand, my new project.
This is
Um,
his new project,
Hub
everybody.
Sandwich is
Here it
it's
is,
kind
right
of like
here.
a Yinzer version of diners, drive-ins, and dives with much cooler guys than that Guy Fieri. Um, we ride around and we're just going to different sandwich places in the city, and it's great. But we try.
How did that become? How did you I think you talked about that before when we talked about stuff because we're always still shooting the shit, you know
Yeah,
what I mean, and
like
stuff
I
like
said,
that.
I always throw stuff off the wall, trying to find something that sticks. And that was one of those things that was always in the reserve tank that, hey, maybe we could try this one day. And TV is a lot different. We film it like a TV show. We don't,
Yeah.
it's not like it's been marketed as a podcast. But really, I guess you could call it a web series.
Okay. I can see that.
It's a TV show on the internet, pretty much. And but yeah, we've got to meet some great people. Got to eat some amazing food.
Tell me
Um,
about it.
I knew we were kind of onto something with this. Um, when we start getting the big dogs like Pepe's and Woolies, they're in our first two. They're in
Yeah,
our first season.
I have the episodes right here.
Yeah, it's Jameson's. We did episode 1. Right now on the episode 4 just aired last night.
That sandwich was
Um,
phenomenal. It made me hungry. I
yeah,
mean, it was a big
what's
sandwich.
great about that, Sam? I'm kind of jumping all over the
That's
place,
okay. That's what we
but
do here on this show. We're
but
good.
episode 4 that aired last night was so unique and so cool. But they've all been cool. Like everybody's
Uh-huh.
been great. Um, Episode 4 came out. Yoli's my buddy Ben Barlson owns it, and the food's amazing there. And he has tons of sandwiches, and they are named after Friends and Rocky Balboa and The Sopranos. It's just a really cool vibe there. And he was one of the people I reached out because it's hard to sell something that nobody knows what it is. Saying,
Right.
"Hey, can I come to your establishment and film a TV show?" And they're like, "Yeah, f you. We don't even know what this is." But so I reached out to people I knew, and then all of a sudden, this thing just, as we started doing the social media posts and everything, it grew legs and it's really taken off. But Yoli's created. Every place had what we do is we give a 5-star sandwich award.
Uh-huh.
It's all researched because obviously if we go to a place and the sandwich is bad, it would make. I don't want to make anybody look bad.
Right, right,
So
right,
we
right.
know
I
ahead of
understand.
time we're getting a 5-star sandwich. It's not like we're going there and guessing. It's predetermined. We know we're giving the 5-star sandwich award away. I don't know what I would do if in a case where we would like it live up to expectations. But
It'd be
so
disheartening.
far everybody's exceeded what we ever thought. Yoli's created episode 4. It's out on Club Sandwich 412 and Oneberg's YouTube right now. All the episodes, all 1 through 4, are out right now, and they come out every Thursday at 8 p.m.
I love how you guys do that concept of having when you have the restaurant that you're going to and you give the history of the town. I mean,
Yes,
that's awesome.
we get mixed reviews for that. Some people love it, some people hate it. But
Really? Wow.
I don't know. I just kind of, and I'm not a fan of that Diners Drive, the Triple D show. I'm not a fan of it, and I've watched probably about 70 episodes to try to put like a format in my head on how I wanted to film and edit this thing, and what you see is what we came up with. Now season 2, we're going to make a little bit of changes. We've had some people give us some constructive criticism and notes, and
How how so of the constructive criticism? Because I think it's really good because you're also going to the restaurant and you're getting the history of the restaurant. You're talking to the owner, and I think you pretty much have a good rapport because you've been to these restaurants a couple times. I think, and you guys are getting a sandwich and you're going around and asking the customers what food they get when they get there. So you're getting reviews from inside the establishment, which I think is pretty good. And this is coming from a bar manager, restaurant guy. I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah, and we got to you can't let the OG
Yeah, negativity.
WQED, the original show on QED, where they would go around and do that. I mean, that was long before the Food Network, and those guys on QED when they would do those shows and go, and that's where the idea of talking to the customers came from.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you got to take stuff off of everybody takes stuff off everybody. Look at superstar Billy Graham. I mean,
Yeah, and then look at all the people that stole off of him.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, so we did get some constructive criticism from industry people. Some mannerisms that we do, and they'd like us to describe the food a little more as we're eating it.
You can just see it. Like you see two guys toasting a sandwich and then going to town. That's what, like me, maybe I'm primitive. That's what I want to see.
But like I said, the idea of talking to the people came from Rick Seaback and QED, and then a lot of the other stuff came, like the diners, drive-ins, and dives. I have a sports car. He has a sports car, so I try to sneak my car into the show.
Yeah.
So, and then I have two buddies, and Tim Bretsky, who's been with me on the podcast world and the radio stuff for years, and then a comedian friend of mine that I've known him for years, and I always said if an opportunity would come to work together, I would jump at it, and that's Big D, and he's kind of the star of the show. I mean, everywhere we go, everybody loves him, and everybody, hey, where's Big D? What's up with Big D? Like, not, hey, how you doing? It's the first thing, where's Big D? So, I mean, he's kind of taken over the fan base of the show, and really funny guy. He's a roast comic too, which
okay,
great. He's hilarious. Like, and some of the stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor, I may just put together a B-reel and let it play of all the funny stuff he does.
Oh, I bet you it's probably the talk of the town. You probably some of that stuff. I don't know how you're going to put that on there if you're edited on the showroom floor.
Well, it's funny. We when we were in the meetings creating things. We were talking about like language, like I don't know, like a PG-13,
Yeah, it's hard, I'm sure.
And I was editing the Yoli's episode, and I caught it like the last minute. I was putting some music in, and at the last second, he said, right before we bit the sandwich, he said, "Shit," and I was like, "Oh man." I'm glad I caught that because I'm trying to keep it like family friendly.
Right.
And, I mean, that's, for down the road, we're looking for sponsors, and
yeah, you got to do it the right way. You can't go Dice Clay and Sam Kinison. It's just
right. Yeah. I mean, there's a time and a place for that. And I think this format and this kind of show, it's just not, it's not, it doesn't fit.
Right.
So, and of course we're eyeballing sponsors. We have Health Source of Pittsburgh. Chiropractic is our first sponsor that we got for season 1.
Congratulations.
Dr. Adam, he's awesome. He's when I tell people I go to the chiropractor, they laugh. They're like, "Who's cracking your back?" And I mean, like, we're big, same size.
Oh yeah.
And like this guy, he's like 6'8", You know, he wears like he has like a size 18 shoe. Like,
Holy shit! Yeah, he's adjusting you in a proper way. Yeah,
if he wore roller skates, it'd be smart cars. Like he's a big guy and the big gentle giant guy. I mean, he's a great guy, and so we're happy to have Health Source as our sponsor. But we're looking to if you notice that we sneak in icy lights in the
I've seen that.
shots, and
I've
then
seen
in
that.
the non-bars we sneak in Turner's Tea. So that's like my mecca. You know, that's how I know we made it on this show. I'm trying for Turner's Tea. I drink pretty much a gallon of Turner's Tea every day. Everybody knows me. I walk around.
Yeah, I used to do that when we did the wrestling podcast.
Drinking the Turner's Tea and everything. So I'm hoping that, you know, we get some sponsors for season 2.
That's probably hard getting the sponsorship.
And you don't want to get food ones because that kind of taints the show and the message behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So like drinks and stuff like doctors and stuff like that.
Yeah, like businesses. You know, like construction or entertainment places for the kids or family.
We're definitely in that demographic, you know, for construction guys and things like that. So.
Wow, that's just I mean, I enjoy the show. Me and Tammy watched the last one last night, and I'm like, God damn it, Tam, that sandwich looks so good. It's on. I was raving about that sandwich at work today, and everybody at work is like, Jesus, Bubba, you just don't shut up. And I'm like, yeah, they put this sandwich, and you guys are big guys, but it looks like it took 2 hands to eat that damn thing, and then you had a tripod of a plate.
Yeah,
like, I thought that was funny.
We do. We haven't met. That one was close. I haven't met a sandwich where I haven't been able to hold yet by my hand by myself. And we cheers. That's like kind of our thing. We cheers the sandwich instead of like cheers with a drink, and then we take the first bite. But yeah, that sandwich it was created just for us.
Yeah,
just for Club Sandwich. And it was a chicken cutlet with rosemary ham, peppered salami, capicool, prosciutto di Parma, extra sharp provolone, ghee d'arnier. I don't even know what that is.
That's
roasted red peppers.
Yeah.
Cabanera chili aioli and a lemon oiled spring mix.
Well, every show you do, though, you guys have the description of the ingredients of what's in the sandwich, so people can actually see it when they watch the show.
Yep, and I mean, that was just something that I just came up with just for fun, and I created a little graphic, and it's, you know, nothing. I'm sure you know. I mean, your first show to now, you know, you evolve and change and get better. So I mean, we're only 6.
I think you guys are great. I think it's entertaining. Like I said, I mean, you're getting a history of the restaurants and the establishments that you do that you're going to, and you talk to the owner, and they're loving it because it's getting them publicity.
Jamie, he was all over it. Like
it seems like you know everybody though. Every show that you do, they're like, "Oh, Todd," and it's been,
that was by design. Season 2 is going to be a little bit more out of my comfort. I went into my comfort zone because
that's okay.
You know, like I said, it was a hard sell to people that don't know what, you know. Like, well, I'm doing this TV show, but it's a web series, not really a TV show. And it's about sandwiches, and I have a long history with Jamie at Jameson's, and that burger was insane. The Stout and Straw burger, I highly recommend. If you're in Dormont and stop there, you get that Stout and Straw burger. It's the most unique. He just came out with a pizza burger. Every month he makes a different burger, and I mean, the top of the burger looks like a pizza. So I mean, like,
see, up here in Indiana County, all 4 of your shows, there is nothing up here that has the quality and the look of any sandwiches like what you've done on your shows on 4 episodes that I've seen. Wow. There isn't one. I'm looking for you. If you guys, have you guys come up here. There is nothing in Indiana, and I've been putting it out there. Now I do have one buddy. He owns. He just got into business, and he said he'll make it. You know what I mean? Because he has like barbecue stuff. That's what he does. He does barbecue stuff. And that's what I'm going to have to do and bring you guys up here to do that, because that is Indiana County. And I put it out there numerous times, and I've been talking about it on my show. There is nothing. Now, the Wapahos at Bob's is like a signature thing, but it's nothing for you guys to say, oh my God, this is it's worth the draw. It's a great sandwich unless you live here. So you got pizza and stuff. There is nothing in Indiana County that topped what I saw last night on your show and what I saw on your first show and the last two. There's nothing. There is nothing in this county.
Well, let's issue a challenge to Indiana County. Let's see. Let's see who can bring it. Let's see who has the best
because I've been telling them if they bring it, I'll get you guys to come up and you guys can do a show.
You'll be part of the show with us. You'll be cheers. I don't know if I can eat
a sandwich though. Those sandwiches are big.
But back to the Yolis episode that just aired last night.
Mm-hmm.
It's on demand all the time. It's on the internet. You don't have to tune in at 7 on Thursdays. That's when it comes out, every Thursday at 7. So you could go on YouTube and watch it whenever.
I share it all the time.
I post it daily, twice a day on all my socials. So
you're a hell of a promoter, though. That's how you are.
And somebody made a joke like, how do every time I go on my timeline, I see it. And so that's mission accomplished.
Yep.
But Yoli's did something very unique. They created their own sandwich just for us. They call it the Daddy Fat Stacks, and it's for charity. It's for the Polar Plunge and Special Olympics, and every year they raise money for the Polar Plunge, and all the proceeds go to Special Olympics. Last year they raised $7,500. This year, the goal was $10,000, and the owner, Benny, said he stopped jumping years ago, but if they raise 10, he'll jump. So I took it a step further, and I said, if you guys raise 10, Big D and I will jump in Speedos.
I know, I heard that.
So, I'm hoping that some people will get a kick out of that and maybe put this thing over the edge and get the 10,000. And when I start doing this kind of stuff, everybody kind of gets the idea that they want to be famous and things like that.
Right.
And
yeah, I just got a guy commenting right now on my YouTube. No, okay. Yeah. Well, Joey, hey, you get 12,000. We'll come down and Todd will have a club sandwich in West Virginia.
Yeah, you got a sandwich down there. We'll go.
Yeah, they'll go down there and they'll have 10,000 people looking.
But my idea was, I always wanted to be like Howard Stern and etc. But my idea wasn't to be famous for myself. My idea was always to try to get to a level where I would be recognizable so I could help people. And, I kind of gave up on that idea, but this is kind of sparked the life back in that idea again. So, if I can walk around in my underwear for a couple hours, jump in a swimming pool, and it's going to help the kids at Special Olympics, go ahead.
Yeah. Charity. The charity is great. That yesterday I was like, wow. I think you probably will do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go back there and do a couple things and try to help push that thing over. I know they're very proactive. They have tiers that you can sponsor, and they do a tailgate, and they do. They do this every year, so
right.
We're just on the coattails. Plus, Oneburg is going to be doing a lot there, so we're going to be down there no matter what. At what capacity yet? It's too early to say.
Well, last year, I guess on the show yesterday, it was close to almost almost $8,000 last year.
Yeah.
So with you two doing the natural disasters, you guys are, you know what I mean? And $20 is nothing. Anymore when you go out to eat, $20. What you saw in that sandwich, you're not getting any of that.
That's all high-end Penmac meats. It's the high-end Italian meats. It's not like the stuff you get at Giant Eagle. You know what I mean? It's I think I even made a comment you get this anywhere else, it's almost a $40 sandwich. It's all It's all high end stuff. They didn't skimp on the ingredients. They didn't skimp on the quality. And I mean, I don't even know if I mentioned that there's a chicken cutlet on there, like a
Oh
fried
no.
chicken cutlet. So I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's the most unique flavor. And I mean, I've been talking a lot about this because it's a charity thing. I don't want to shortchange anybody that we've sat with so far.
Right,
But
right, right.
like I said, Jamie at Jameson's, that burger was. I mean, it was massive.
Oh, it was.
It was so good. And then two chefs, my buddy Vic. He had a Kobe Bryant tribute sandwich,
Yes,
which was
yes.
it was amazing. It was a Italian style roasted chicken with a dunk sauce on it that he made. It was made with homemade ranch and balsamic. I mean, it was so good. And it just every bite was flavor, and it was insane. And like he showed me a picture of it, and I was almost nervous because like the picture that he sent me didn't do it justice before we filmed.
Uh-huh.
And then when we saw this thing live and in person, man, was he just blew us away.
Right.
It was so good.
Well, I know the price that you said last night. Like, look, Joey said that's what it is in West Virginia. So that's the price in West Virginia for food. And if everybody goes up to the restaurant you went to last night, they're getting that sandwich is
Yeah.
probably the salad, the burger, and the steak. That sandwich. I mean, it was
what's
huge.
funny is I was having a conversation with somebody, to Joey's point, like go to the grocery store now and get a steak. It's $50, 45 bucks for one steak, $60.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper for me to take my family to Texas Roadhouse and get a full dinner for everybody, and everybody's eating steak or chicken, and I'm spending less feeding them a full meal than I would at buying it. And
Well,
usually it's the opposite.
Well, Vinny Chooch could probably do 2 burgers and a steak, being the champion that he is.
He does eat. They don't eat anything. He's the opposite of me. He eats junk. He eats pizza and waffles.
Well, that's what champions do. You know what I mean?
the future of the business. But you know what? Price wise, the one place that we went to really surprised me was Pepe's. I don't think they have a sub on their menu over $11.
Well, I used to get a Pepe's hoagie when I was going to Steeler games, man, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah, and they have all different ones. People seem to like the Joey Portobello. They're named after Joey Porter. Obviously the Roethlisberger is like a sausage and hamburger mix with egg and all that. And I mean, they won the war on the Roethlisberger when Ben got drafted. Everybody was trying to race to come up with a Roethlisberger.
That was big back then. That was big.
They won that war. And it's still on their menu. But like I said, it's a good quality Mancini's bun, and it's tons of. I mean, they load it up, and I mean, I don't even think you can get one at Subway for that price.
Well, no, look, I mean, Joey from West Virginia. Look at this. Large delivered a large pepperoni pizza was $64 delivered.
Yeah.
I mean, Joey, I mean, it's a tough time going. I went to the Chinese buffet in Indiana, Pennsylvania today, and I shouldn't have, but I did because I was hungry for sushi. And just for me alone, it was $16.
Yeah.
And I only had 2 plates, and I'm a big dude, and I tapped out of 2 plates. So there's no way I can get in any type of eating challenge against any of you guys or anybody anymore.
Well, I mean, it's not a challenge. It's not.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well,
when you eat them, like do you guys finish them, or do you get a to-go box?
I do, but that's just because I'm a fat pig. But the guys usually take a box home.
Do they?
Big D gets comfortable. He wears sweats and takes his shoes off.
It's like a job. It's like he's working out.
Yeah, he's putting some time in. He's the little guy of us, and he usually takes home a box. But yeah, it's not a competition show. That I'm retired from that world, except for 1 week from today. I'm taking on the Wolfpack Challenge over in Brookline at the kickstand.
You better not eat nothing all day.
Ironically, it's just the way it fell. Episode 5 is from the kickstand in Brookline, and he does this amazing sandwich. It's called the Full Dresser. It's I said it was all 3 meals in one. It was a steak sandwich with sautéed mushrooms and onions, and loaded with cheese, lettuce, tomato, and then it had bacon and eggs on it.
Holy shit!
And I was like, "This is a 3-mealer. Like this thing was." He loaded up. So like, we didn't know. This was one of the ones I didn't know. And I went to a friend of mine, and actually, you've met him before when we did the comedy charity event.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was
Tony
good
Garino.
Okay.
I call him the Godfather of Brookline. So
I remember him. Yeah.
So I say, hey, Tony, where can I go in Brookline? Because the place where we used to do our radio show, where we had Idiot Radio's headquarters, is no longer there. It's back under new ownership, and I think they're using the name again, but it's not the same place. And actually, we'll probably stop there eventually. I think the cook there is the original cook is back, so we may stop in there in the future. But so Tony hooked us up with the kickstand, and we love this guy. His name's Vinny. He
just with a name like that, I can only imagine.
It's all motorcycle and wrestling themed.
Oh,
so like he has Money in the Bank briefcases hanging all. I mean,
nice.
Harley parts, and I mean it's and like you drive past this place and you're like, what the hell is this place? If you don't know it's there, and there's like flags, and I mean he has the whole building just, and then on the inside the customers bring stuff, and he hangs it on the wall. You can sign the wall. I mean, it's like an old school blue collar sandwich place those places don't exist anymore.
No, they do not.
And he has that unique, like Pepe's and him, they kind of have it figured out. They have that unique menu, and they have unique names, and there's really cool designs, and it's just
they didn't come up with a Kenny Pickett hoagie sandwich.
Not yet.
I don't know. There's probably no meat in the bun.
You'll have to come back for more seconds. Underwhelmed, but he was the first person to give us a to-go sandwich. So we ate the sandwich on the show, and then he packed us a to-go sandwich to go home. He sent us home with sandwiches.
Oh my God!
So I mean, like, and like everybody, just gives us that, treat us like family.
Right.
We have and Vinny was no different. And, and he likes wrestling, so then we start talking about wrestling.
Oh, Jesus.
Things like that. And so he had the Wolfpack Challenge, and I helped him out. I came up with some graphics and stuff for him, and then I said that I would do it. I said, why don't we do it for the Super Bowl? And so we're gonna do it the Friday before, and I made like a little campaign and stuff. And
oh, geez.
So coming out of retirement, I think I'm gonna leave my wife at home. Like I said last time,
Lisa's gonna be like, "I'll wait till you come home."
Last time I did this, I did a 6-pound calzone, and
woo!
I knew I was done because I destroyed this thing. Like it was like 6-7 minutes in, and all I had was scraps, and everything started getting stuck.
Bro.
So I panicked, and I started chugging waters, and I went to burp, and it was like a geyser. It just wouldn't stop coming.
Oh
my
my
wife
God.
She was being a good wife and trying to cheer me on, and I just sprayed her.
Oh.
And now that's foreplay in our house. But yeah, she God bless her. She supports all the crazy things.
I know, and she supports everything you do, man. She's been doing it for years, so God bless Lisa.
When we did the wrestling thing, she got involved.
Oh, I know. I seen it. Yeah. Speaking of the wrestling thing, No, I don't know if people know. I mean, people. I mean, you had a
That's
match
how
under
we
your belt.
met.
Yeah.
Wrestling school. That's how we met. Well, the first school you went to, you actually left and retrained somewhere else, right?
Yeah. That's with when Aaron Lester.
And
Uh,
you were at
United.
USCW,
Yeah,
right?
United States Championship Wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah. That
that
was a long time ago. Oh my God.
that shyster
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Sal Conte, that piece of shit. Yes, I could say it. It's my show. I can do. Yeah, yeah,
But you moved on and
yeah. Oh yeah,
you got trained by some legitimate people and
yeah.
but yeah, that's man, that's a long time.
I know. You're looking at probably 1997.
So we've known
Yeah,
each other that long, man.
yeah,
That's amazing. So
yeah. And it runs full circle. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, with Aaron Lester. I remember Aaron doing that interview, and I said, I ain't
yeah,
no Vern Gagne. You know what I mean? Because we weren't getting
yeah.
trained properly from Sal because he was eating
Yeah,
lasagna
he
and
was. I
chocolate
mean,
milk.
that's kind of how it got involved in that too, because he was doing like a TV show
Uh huh.
on,
Uh
and
huh.
I
Channel
mean,
22.
him too. I mean, I still have friendship with him, and he was a big part of the reason
Uh
why
huh.
we did a lot. We got to do. I mean, I'm not young. I can't move like I did in my 20s. I'm almost 50, and my little guy Chooch is such a fan that I felt like I needed to get out there and do something for him to see.
And you
And
did. And you
yeah,
did. And that's
you were
very, yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You
I,
were
I
there
mean,
supporting me all the way and
yeah. And
giving me
that,
advice and the getting ready and like you were a big part of that and I was thankful for that. And
well, to wrestle, to do that and to be trained to do that. And you're doing it in front of your family because Lisa was there, Vinny was there, your family. You had that whole crowd that night. I mean, the whole crowd was there for you.
I tell you what,
I
and
mean,
I
that's
didn't
how it
know
was.
all those people. Like I had a few sections, but that whole room there had to be like about 200 people, and I don't
Oh,
think they've
yeah.
seen 200 people since then.
No, probably not. But,
That room.
no, but everybody
I don't
was,
want to talk. I don't want to shoot.
no,
Yeah,
no,
they probably haven't seen 200 people in that building
no,
since.
you're just being honest. There's nothing
And
wrong with that. So,
it was and for me that was such a great thing because I didn't only take part in a match. I was I made a joke that I got to be Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan in the same night because I got to be in one of the main event matches
mhm.
and I wrote the entire show and promoted it from step one. I booked it, wrote it, everything, and it was with a shoestring budget. It was with wrestlers that a lot of people may not like,
Right.
and not so much fans, but in the industry, they may not be well
Let's just
liked.
put it
But
this way. I'm going to be honest with you, and I can say that because this is my show. Some of the guys I would never book. I
we
mean,
made it fun and we made it
yeah,
entertaining, and it was just a good show.
right,
And people left and they were talking about it the next day
right,
for
and they were
sure.
entertained because
We brought legends in, T Ranchula,
T showed up,
and
and T
who would
looks
have?
so good now. I don't know. He
Yeah,
I've seen him in a couple matches, KSWA, Johnstown. He he still looks good, and he's in his 60s, man, kicking ass and taking names.
yeah, and my the reputation that I have, my friendship with you. Of course, when I'm in circles, I drop your name. So
Oh
I mean,
Jesus!
he
Oh, you
he
get it.
uh
Oh
he
geez.
came out. I don't know how many people he would have did that for, because he's pretty loyal to KSWA, and I did a whole thing where I honored what he did there,
Sure.
and if I was still there, we would have did something for the Black Widow,
Hmm.
and like we had a son involved. Like
Right.
it was nice. It was just a great night all around,
Yeah, it
and for
was.
my son to see that was, but nothing. And you can attest to this. You've been there. It's like a drug to have a room full of people screaming
Yeah.
your name
Yep.
and cheering for you like that.
Yep.
Like I want to do physically, I can't. I would love to do one more thing,
Right.
but physically, I don't. I have a hernia, and I don't think I could. By the time I would get ready and all that,
It's hard
uh,
for me. I can never do it again, but I totally understand where you're coming from because I don't have to. You don't have to. There's no. And if people are listening or whatever, there is no way that if people have never done that, they actually understand, and you can actually understand it, of the crowd actually, letting you know how they feel, and you rising up, and just it's just something that there's no drug in the world that could
that can replicate that.
no, going through the curtain and thousands of people or hundreds of people screaming your name.
I
or wanting
couldn't
your autograph.
imagine in a whole arena like how they react to like Seth, or when The Rock just recently came back, like how like just getting that reaction. I don't know if I mean I don't, I mean it would just be,
Look,
I don't
they're
know,
athletes.
yeah,
The guys in the higher thing are athletes. I mean, you got guys tearing their biceps, basic takedown moves, from the Rumble this past week. You know what I mean? 45 years old, and you got 45-year-old guys in the real world that can't even sit down and tie their shoes.
yeah.
So, I mean, it's something, and you did it, and you did a great job. It turned into a hardcore match, I believe. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean that was the thing. Like I could still, like, my mind wanted
but
to,
that's good though.
bump, but my body was. I mean, I almost knocked myself out in training like 2 or 3 times. I just couldn't get. And then I couldn't get some of the rules because my knees are so bad.
Right.
And popping up and stuff. And
yeah,
I got to work with a young kid, Preston, Derek Wayne. I know a lot of guys in that system, in that company, get a lot of shit.
Does he still
behind the scenes,
wrestle?
they got a great trainer.
Oh, Brian Anthony's very good.
Yeah, he's on Brian Anthony is the trainer. So even though the guy that runs the place and owns it's a complete lunatic, behind the scenes they got a great trainer. They couldn't have a better trainer than Brian Anthony.
Hey, I can tell this story because it's me and I don't care. But I mean, I remember one time he was gonna, hey Bubba, you know what? We'll rank the storylines and you can sell the nacho cheese and hot dogs. And I said, absolutely not. I was like, no way. And it was me, Chris Lash, and Gary, and we all looked at each other, and I'm like,
right?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I mean, well, yeah, we were good, but I was like, no, it's the creative part, like you said. Okay, you can't maybe take the bumps, but being creative and being ingenious in the wrestling business, and if you have a smart mind, that actually works to your benefit if you know what you're doing.
If you're good and you're entertaining, the marks will know exactly what you did. You did wrong. A true fan, like a little kid or something, is entertainment is entertainment. If what you're doing is working, they're not gonna. Well, he didn't do that body slam quite correctly.
He didn't tuck the head.
Yeah. If you got a reaction, and I mean, my mother was there and she knew it wasn't real, and she was in tears. My older son, was in tears.
Oh, I know. It was. Well, it was captivating because it was telling a story, and you're giving it your all in the story that you wrote and the angle that you had, and people get invested. People are invested, and that's what.
And like I can't say enough. I was starting to say, and we got sidetracked. Derek Wayne, great kid, and I hope he does. I hope he stays with it. I hope he has a great future. He was so great to work with, and he was a little skeptic at first, and he just saw the method and the way of thinking, and he saw how it worked and the crazy ideas I would come up with, and even sometimes Brian would be like, I don't know, that's kind of crazy. I don't think you need to do a contract signing. And then when he saw it in real life, he was like, man, that worked. It was great. Because we did like a fake, we did a contract signing, and he did like a pepper spray gimmick. And, it was just leading up. And I was significantly bigger than him. So, like, we had to, like, we just made him like the ultimate heel. Like, like he was like a crybaby.
He was cocky. Yeah, he was cocky and arrogant because you guys were doing your podcast, and that's how it started. The storyline started off the podcast that you did.
Put together, and it was so fun. But like before the show, we were kind of talking, and I have those things I said, like the club sandwich,
stuff with ideas, the Todd DeFazio ideas,
and we brought it down. I'm in the process of, the documentaries seem to be doing really well. OVW did great with theirs.
Yes, they did. That's
Um,
very good. Yeah.
I think that really put them over the hump that they were trying to get over.
Uh-huh.
And Al's doing a great job down there.
Mm-hmm.
I would love, since Chooch, and you know the Chooch, Vinny Chooch, my son Vinny.
He's a WWE connoisseur.
He knows history.
Mm-hmm.
He knows new. He knows old. It's wrestling 24 hours a day. He's passed out sleeping right now. But if he wasn't, he'd be flying off the couch doing flying elbows and wrestling people that aren't there. But he knows how to bump and run the ropes and do frog splashes. And he knows how. When we were at training, he was learning.
Good.
When we were,
nice.
so he was learning.
Uh-huh.
And I've run it by Brian Anthony. Now he's only 8, so this could be a 10-year.
Oh yeah.
In the making documentary. I would love to do a documentary where he starts training now, and have a group of guys with him, like a group with him that are ready to break into the business or in training now, and follow those guys and him in their journey. And
you just thought of that off the top of your head, or you thought?
I've been cooking the idea for a few weeks.
Oh, okay.
And I've already reached out to Brian, but he's very athletic. He's very small for his age. Like he's an athlete. He plays flag football, basketball. He's a great baseball player. He plays travel baseball, and he's the smallest kid on the team, but hits the ball the hardest.
How can Joey get some club t-shirts?
Clubsandwich412.com, Joey. There's all kind of designs. We have the original logo. I have the fighter style on right now. Clubsandwich412.com. That'll take you. There's a merchandise store.
You have that same store that you had for all your stuff?
It's similar, yeah, but it's Club Sandwich themed, right. And I have like a Jack Daniels ripoff and a 412. It looks like a Steeler helmet, the 412.
Oh, nice.
Like Pittsburgh themed stuff.
Sure. And well, you are from Pittsburgh. That's
I'm thinking about for season 2 going with like a Run DMC theme for the 3 of us. So I have it's still in design phase, but we're gonna have a Run DMC style Club Sandwich shirt. For season.
Well, you could do the Freebirds. You guys could do a Freebirds.
We did the Freebirds, you, me, and Mav.
Yeah. Well, it could come back with you guys having sandwiches, man.
But we were talking about doing the campaign for season 2. We'll dress like Run DMC with the leather jackets and the Godfather hats and
nice.
And I just watched that documentary on those guys and
well, you're into that stuff. You're into creative ways on doing stuff. So when like season 1's going to end and you're going to be gearing up, when would season 2 be out after it was produced?
Season 2's looking. We're looking to start filming at the end of March into April. We'll start filming, and then May, June would be the release.
Okay.
I'd like to do 2 to 3 seasons a year. 6 episodes at a pop.
Now, let me ask you a question. What happens if you guys go to all the places that have these great sandwiches and you run out of places?
I don't think we'll ever run out.
Okay.
And then what's great is we can change, and if something starts to get stale, we can change the theme. Like
okay.
We could do the spring season fish fries.
Okay.
Or hamburgers in the summer, or food trucks. Everything's going to be based on the concept of food. We could do spinoffs, yeah.
Okay.
And then we could, we could get local celebrities. Come see you up your way. Go.
I can't. I got to get you a sandwich though. That's the problem. I can't get you a sandwich that's worthy enough to have you guys like sit down and eat. And I'm telling you, I've been talking about this for weeks. For real.
Well, when you find it, we're coming. So
I will
the
let you
word's
know.
on, Indiana. Step it up.
Yeah,
I want to
make
go eat with
something.
Bubba.
Yeah, make it good. Kyle L's in the house. Kyle L, thanks for tuning
How
in.
you doing?
This kid Kyle L, speaking real quick, Kyle L, he does a podcast called Buckle to Buckle with Kyle
Okay.
L. This kid's 13. He's like Vinny Chooch. This kid knows his WWE. He was 4 for 4 last week on our picks.
Oh,
He's
man,
always like
that's great. I love to see the young guys appreciate the old school and
yeah.
know their stuff.
Nice
Yeah,
place.
we're doing okay, Joey. Joey's asking about the money on the shirts. I try to keep it affordable because I got it as close to bottom line as I can,
Right.
because I don't need to make money. I don't want to get rich off of it. If you're walking around in West Virginia with that shirt on, you're a free billboard for me. You know what I mean? So that's my way of thinking. The money will come in the backside somewhere.
Well, you're always marketing and producing. Jessica, thanks for tuning in. You're always, you're always thinking of stuff. Like this gimmick here, this club sandwich gimmick is
And who would have thought,
huge.
food was the way that something like this would pop? Because I've tried like
You've done
sports,
so many
I've tried
stuff.
wrestling, and you know what, these wrestling shows that I've done, like you and I, was great. It was. We could go toe to toe with national shows.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And the ones that are on Sirius, and like we were right there. We were at that level.
I know. We placed in what, the third top Pittsburgh podcast
We
or
were
something.
definitely in the final. We were a finalist for Best in Pittsburgh. So I did win that with the Double D show in 2017.
Right.
And that was such a surreal thing, and to have the guys and go to the awards, we all got all dressed up, and it was just fun. It was those are the kind of things that when you get your flowers once in a while for your hard work, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
The one time I did when I was on radio, when I was on Star, I would do world records. And when I was on B94, I would do world records. And the idea came from the Fallon show was doing world records. And Kobe, one of the guy in the afternoon, he was like, "Why don't you do this?" He's like, "Fallon's doing it. It's getting over." So we would do world record Mondays, and it was crazy. Like, we would just come up with the craziest world records, and one of them I lit 15 fireworks off of my body, and
oh Jesus!
I tell you what, and I'm talking about the flowers. Like, and at that point I was frustrated in my career. Like, nothing was popping. Like, now this stuff that we did coming up, you see on TikToks, and they're going viral and making millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I laugh when I see my kids watching that stuff. I'm like, I did that stuff 10 years ago.
Yep.
Before YouTube.
I always say, if I had, I'm not going to exploit my wife on a podcast and have her dress like provocatively, but Jesus, God Almighty. That's what you see on TikTok.
But, and then these young kids,
Thank you, Joey. Thank you so much.
Joey, thanks for all the great feedback. Appreciate it.
Watch his show. Watch Club Sandwich, Joey. And if you got to come up to the Pittsburgh area and get a sandwich, I'm telling you, they look so good. You'll want to do it, So
great stuff. It's great. So but yeah, season 2 is booking up fast.
Well, that's good. Is people coming to you because they heard of season 1 and like, hey, so Todd, come to the place?
Now season 2 is a little different.
Cool. Okay.
Season 2 is a little different. A place called Zoop came to us about a Reuben. So we'll probably go there first. And then my buddy from the radio, Bubba, he's gonna do he has a burger place, and I don't even know the details on it. He talked to me about it briefly, and I said, "So what's up? What is this thing?" And he just sent me a picture of this massive burger from Bubba's Burgers over in Cannonsburg. So
Now you got
that'll
to go.
probably,
You're going to have to go over there to Bubba's, I'm sure.
yeah, that'll be our second episode. I think at some point we'll go back to Yoli's in season 2. Well, they have like a Balboa sandwich. It's like a
Ooh.
spicy Italian beef. Um, and then we're gonna go do we're gonna go to the Triangle and do the submarine, the big Italian hoagie.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
So yeah, it's season 2 is coming together nice.
Well, and then just people by word of mouth, and then everybody will, you know, it'll be better and better and bigger, and I mean that's how it goes,
And just like I said, evolving. Like episode 1 that you did to now. I mean, look how far you've come. I mean, heck,
Well,
I don't. When you started, you didn't even know how to work this stuff. Now you're putting graphics up on the screen, and
I know.
and
I had asked you back in the day. Well, everybody,
but,
when I used to do the Triple B experience, I would do 45 minutes on Idiot Radio, and I would send it to Todd, and Todd would put commercials in the middle, and I would do like 15 minutes of Steelers, 15 minutes of wrestling, and 15 minutes of
yeah.
pop culture. It was 45 minutes, and that's as long as it
And
was.
now look at
And
you, you're
then
doing long form interviews, and I mean, it's great. I mean,
I appreciate it. I mean,
you've
but you taught me a lot, though. I mean, I remember where I come from. I mean, I give praise when, you
well,
helped me. You did. I mean, we did the wrestling stuff, and I thought that was cool as shit. And
that. Like I
and
said, I mean, if you ever want to revisit that, I think I'd be okay with that. You're a busy man now. You got so many things going on.
well, I look at it this way. I told people my podcasting tree is better than Mike Tomlin's coaching tree. Because I got 3 of the guys like doing their own shows though, which
and
is cool.
you're a newlywed, man. You gotta
Yeah,
just make sure you have time for the wife.
I do, and
Uh,
hey, I appreciate you and Lisa coming up, man, for the epic
yeah, it was
event, man.
great. It was great to
Thank
get
you.
out that way. And
It's up at it near.
I didn't realize how far you lived,
Yeah.
and you were making the trips down here, and then I was like, man. So yeah,
Oh, that's okay.
I
No, it's so cool.
appreciate you know
I
you
enjoyed
making
coming
those
down to your
trips
house when
down
we were
there.
doing. Yeah, man. I mean, you were doing stuff. Greenfield's finest. You were hooking them guys up, and you were doing stuff with Jimmy Crenn, and you were doing a whole
Yeah,
bunch of stuff.
no restrictions.
Yeah, I mean,
Merrill Hodge, the brain damage. I
yeah.
was the
So you've
producer of
done
that.
every facet of. I mean, that's what I mean. You have done a lot of stuff in the Pittsburgh market of media that is
That nobody
no.
knows about.
Yeah. Well, it's noteworthy, and they should, you know what I mean. You should, you're
Well,
respected,
I'm
and I
glad that
mean that's
somebody like you appreciates it, and when I started, I always say, like I want to give back, and like I always try to help friends out. Like my buddy Gino was doing his podcast, Johnny Smith, the Inquisitive Minds, and Johnny just came back to Pittsburgh. He had a rough go at things in Texas, and I told him, you need to do this, brother. I don't, I have no stake in the game anymore. I don't. I just want you to come here and do it. And I think that part of his life was missing.
mm-hmm.
And so when he got himself right and back together, I contacted him, and he comes and films. I don't sit there anymore. I don't sit in the studio anymore and produce. I just turn on the thing, the machines, and let him fly. I tell him to call me when he's done. Um, my time's a little, being a corporate guy now.
Right.
My time is a lot less than it used to be, and but yeah, it's been a crazy journey. I'll tell you that.
But it seems like it's
been
a good journey, and I'm telling you, the show is, I watch it all the time, and I mean, I know I'm a big guy and I like to eat, but that last night's show was like the cat's meow. Like, I mean, I've been raving about it all day, like I said. You know, it's just that exciting. You know, looking at that big sandwich. You know, I mean, I don't need to gain any more weight, but
Yeah,
damn.
that was our last. So even though the chronological order of the episodes, that was the fourth. That was actually the sixth episode that we filmed.
Oh,
So we
okay.
were kind of in a that I keep telling my wife and people that are paying attention. I said that was our best. That was the best episode. And the owner Benny, he was very charismatic.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it was just nice.
And not saying everybody that you had on has been great. Like every show
From
has
the
been,
other one.
yeah, every show has been top notch. You know, I just think it's something that
And stepping out of that comfort zone, going to Pepe's, I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know Lou. I didn't know Lou at all. And Big D hooked that up. And then Woolies, they were so nice to us. And so, yeah, it's stepping out of that comfort zone was a little tough.
That's nothing wrong with that.
But, yeah, it ended up working out. Tim and I went, and Big D wasn't even at Pepe's, and it was his show that he hooked up. And,
no, sometimes it's you and Tim, and then you guys switch off. It's not all three of you.
I think the idea going forward is it's only going to be two of us, but all three of us are part of the show. And Tim will do some shows, and you know those guys have jobs and families, so it's hard to be around, and availabilities are different for Big D than they are for Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we book it around their availability, we kind of split the season in half. I think Tim did the exact same amount of episodes as Big D. I think Big D might have did one more. But then there's one episode where all three of us were, and it was the smallest place in the in episode 5 in the cake stand. All three of us are there. So there's the three of us, and then one of the cool things about this too is my older kids are involved. They help with the filming. My daughter Emma and Caleb.
You got the whole family doing.
Yeah, I think Chooch would be involved if he was a little bit older.
Right, he could he could like snap action.
We laugh. My daughter Emma, she's 15. She gets producer cred on the ending of the show, and she yells at us and keeps us in line. If we do something stupid, she goes, "That was stupid." She's the teenage girl, and she's brutally honest to her fault, I guess. And but that helps. It keeps us in line.
Sure. Yeah, you have a lot of people. I think one of your camera guys, I believe, is that Alan Bish from Punxsutawney?
Yeah, marvelous Matt Bish's brother.
Yeah. Okay.
And, hey,
look at that! Look at that! Oh,
hey, what's up, Z Bird?
Oh, Greenfield's finest. I tell you what, Mike is funny.
You gotta get me to Greenfield, and you gotta take me to eat a sandwich. We gotta eat a sandwich together on the show. And
there you go, Mike. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it, man. I seen Mike did a post about some promoting his people were like, hey. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
just kind of calling out people asking for favors. That's great.
I don't fucking
Not a lot of guys get away
with
that, but Mike's like I was saying about Emma, being honest. He's one of those guys that shoots from the hip, like you, brutally honest, and he's a funny guy.
I seen his stand up. I seen his stand up for that charity thing you did at that one place last year. Me and Tam come down.
Yeah.
And
baseball charity.
Yeah, and then you had these drunken fools on the corner. They were being jackasses, and I was like, this is ridiculous, Tam. That's
what's tough about. I mean, I've done a lot of comedy shows over the years.
Comedy's very hard.
Doing comedy shows in a bar is tough.
Yeah,
because if they if it's closed, it's in a private room. It's one thing because everybody's there for comedy. But if you have the regulars that are in there and
they're trying to be funny. They're trying to be funny,
drunk, and they're not paying attention to the show. It's ignorant. And,
right. Hey, Mike, if you're still on, you need to contact Indiana, Pennsylvania, downtown Indiana, has a complex. They're having Kren on the 17th. Now, if they're doing like comedy stuff, Mike, and maybe you can come up to Indiana, Pennsylvania, and do some stuff at they call it the old movie theater, but they rebuild it, and they're doing like bands and entertainment, because there's nothing around here, because they have that Kovalchik Center and they don't even use it anymore except for high school sports.
You think Indiana can handle Greenfield's finest up there?
You know what? If they come up, I would try to help them out. I mean, you know what I mean? Like hey, Indiana's just, there's some people that have some good comedy taste. You know, but you're right about comedy in a bar. Like, people want to be part of the act. It's just like, you know, wrestling. You know, when you're paying your ticket to be, you know, watching wrestling, then you want to jump in the ring and think you're a goddamn wrestler.
Yeah,
and it don't work.
Booze gets involved.
Yeah, booze is the ultimate, and then they think they're a wrestler or a comedian or an actor or an astronaut. You know what I mean? But yeah, Mike, you need to check out Indiana if you're still on. You know, I can send you a link. You know, like I said, Jimmy Kren. I think it holds 300 people, I believe.
Yeah, I've seen Jimmy's doing hot dogs. So I reached out, Yinzer dogs. So I reached out about doing, the sandwich thing with him.
And
I'm still waiting to hear back, so we'll see.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Does people sometimes? Well,
he's busy. He's got a lot of gigs going on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, he is a legend. He is a legend.
If Brian was listening or watching right now, that's a little inside joke between me and Brian.
Okay.
And Wunberg. He got a lot of gigs going on.
Well, smoking a stogie and cracking jokes. But I do appreciate, Mike. I do appreciate you jumping on, brother. Thank you so much.
Greenfield's
finest. Those guys, yeah, on DVE in the morning. You know,
one of those great shows that it's just four Pittsburgh guys.
I like his brutal honesty and his comical stuff.
Yeah,
like his life. You know what I mean? He's overcome. He's overcome the lot,
and they're all true. They sound crazy. They're all true.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you can't even make that shit up.
So.
You know, but I like I said, I sometimes on this show, you never know who pops in. I remember one time Tito Santana popped in. Like I don't know, like I don't know who pops in.
Was that one of the wrestling ones we did? We were
something like I don't, you know, yeah. Like I mean, I got people on my Facebook, and I just put it out there, and I just try to. I mean, if I could do this, like, I mean, if we all could do this for a living, I mean, I would. But I mean, I you know, it is what it is. You know, if I can entertain two people, you know, out of 2 million, I'm okay with that too, you know. So
yeah,
but yeah. So hey, Todd, before we get out of here, the Royal Rumble was last week. How did you like the show?
Man, I might be against the grain here.
Oh, you can say what you feel.
I thought it was mid at best. Okay. I feel like the potential could have put this thing on to be the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. If people didn't get hurt and things played out a little differently. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, The Rock. I
thought he was coming. I thought he was coming.
Shy away from it now. I mean, he said he wanted to sit at the head of the table in a promo where you couldn't even hear his music when he walked out because the crowd was so freaking loud.
Mm-hmm.
The people have wanted this through this stupid run that Roman has had.
For
this pointless, stupid run. The only payoff is to have The Rock come in and beat the shit out of him, humble him. I mean, at this point, I mean, and he's not believable as a bad guy. It's horrible.
Yeah,
and
it's terrible.
And I just am waiting for it. But then they wasted all that time building Cody up to take him out, and then so like, why even have The Rock say that at that point? Like, you've built Cody up, you've built him up to be indestructible. He comes back from injury, he beats up Brock Lesnar. Like, he's already should have beat him. I feel like by now,
right?
So let's look at the whole picture. So The Rock is in the picture, kind of.
Yes, he is.
Right. So you got Punk, you got Cody Rhodes, you got
Seth Rollins.
Who's my favorite.
I think Seth is not 100%, and I mean,
no, he hasn't been for a long time.
With Punk tearing that bicep and that move that McIntyre, I like Drew McIntyre, I always have. And I mean,
I feel like this is partially a work.
You know what? Because that interview
they're
Monday,
talking about it too much in interviews, and I don't know. I feel like it's partially work, and then you kind of got, there was no surprises this year, which the women had they had the girl from Impact, whatever. But
Jordan Grace,
yeah,
and then they had. But the thing about the women's rumble, they were doing all their high spots, and all their fucking eyelashes were falling over the goddamn ring.
yeah.
Like everything was a high spot.
It wasn't. And usually the women in those things thrive.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they did this time. Now and then all the people I mentioned, and then you kind of have the question mark of MJF, right? Does MJF, the AEW's taking him off all their socials?
Mm-hmm.
He's made it clear that's where he wants to be. Now, if I was booking it, I would have had The Rock win it and take on Roman. I would have had MJF come in and spoil the story for Cody, and have MJF versus Cody at Mania.
Okay.
Punk versus Rollins at Mania. That would probably, and in my opinion, would be one of the top 3 WrestleManias of all time. And then one other bitch about the Rumble
is what on this show?
All the build up for Jade. How does she not win it and beat Rhea at WrestleMania?
Well,
why eliminate her?
I think she had her share when she picked up Nia Jax. I'm a big Nia Jax fan. I've been taking a lot of heat. A lot of heat. But
she's due. And I know they've been teasing what's her name, Uso's wife, coming into
Naomi got like almost an hour.
They're gonna probably put her in the bloodline. I would like Nia fits the bloodline more. Nia Jax fits, and she is family.
Yeah,
like she's blood family. The other one's married,
right?
So, but my bitch, besides the women's match being poop, I feel like Jade should have won the whole thing. If she doesn't win the whole thing, don't bring her out.
I don't know if she was going to win the whole thing, because that probably would have that's never ever happened where the first match ever somebody won.
But
the Rumble
they're marketing her to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
If she doesn't win it, why bring her out? Why waste her that way? Why waste the debut?
Okay, no, I see. But I figured they want to push Io Sky and Bayley. They want to split that up, and
I think they're turning on Bayley.
Yeah,
but I would love to have seen Jade win.
I like her. She looks more crisp. She looks better as a better performer in WWE ring than she did in AEW. And then also I got Kyle.
What's funny is they booked those guys. They booked that Damage Control as heels, but when they're out there individually, they get cheered. They get cheered. When Sky won the belt, they were the roof blew off the place.
Everybody likes the Japanese wrestlers. I know Kyle said they just pushed Cody away for a match that's going to be a dog crap. And he says Seth versus Cody and Roman versus Rock is not the way to go. But hey, it's WWE, and they find a way to mess up something every year.
He went with the way that I said I would want to see it.
Yeah, and he said he's glad that Nia Jax got eliminated quickly by Jade, because he knows I like Nia Jax, and he's just doing it just to make me mad. And he said Damage Control turned on Bayley, so Bayley beat ass with a steel pipe and picked Io. That must have happened tonight.
Okay,
because this kid's watching SmackDown, and I'm doing podcast shows, but it is what it is.
He's saying Cody's committing to Rollins.
He said Seth versus Cody and Roman versus Rock is not the way to go, but hey, it's the WWE way of messing stuff up. So he thinks that's going to happen, but it'll be messed up.
I like that this young guy has his opinion.
Oh yeah, The
thing that's the Rock is he's guaranteed he'll sell the.
I don't see the Rock
thing.
I don't see the Rock beating him based on the fact of getting that shine and then having Roman go over on the Rock because Hogan, Rock went over on Hogan and he's just paying it forward.
If he does go over, how do they recover from that? Because you don't have him full time.
Yeah, I mean
that's
SmackDown. And he said stare down Roman.
The
Rock came out. He said the Rock came out at the end of SmackDown tonight, I guess.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna have to watch it.
I watch. The one I don't watch was one of the
best
ones.
Yeah, I'm doing podcasts, but I mean, that's why you can stream it and then you can see it. Yeah. So you give it a lukewarm. What do you think of? Now I know Kal-El is going to be pissed when I say this name. What do you think of Logan Paul?
I love him.
Oh shit! Kal-El's your biggest fan now.
He goes against the grain of the old school.
Okay,
but I think he's earned it. I think he's earned the respect.
I think he was concussed. I think he was fucked up because he couldn't. I think he seriously couldn't get his wheels. I think he got a concussed.
Yeah,
he had that glossy eyed when he was trying to do that interview.
He's doing a lot of high risk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he's kind of he's not paying his dues for the indies, but he's getting it on the job training. He's stepped up to everything they've asked him to do, and he hasn't disappointed. Believe me, I wanted to hate him. But
you're about one of the few people that I've talked on this podcast besides Kal-El's a huge fan.
I respect it. I think, like I said, they've put him in positions to fail, and he's not failing. I mean, what's his name? McAfee. They were putting McAfee in similar situations, but look at the difference. McAfee can't carry a match with Roman.
No.
Paul looks like he looks the part.
Yeah.
He has that old Ric Flair. That old Ric Flair aura, where Ric Flair could have at the beginning of the show cheering for him and blowing kisses, and by the end of the show throwing everything in the arena at him. He has that.
That's a good analogy.
He has that factor out there, but they've put him in positions where others would fail, and he hasn't. He stepped up. Believe me, I wanted it. I can't stress it enough. I wanted to hate him.
Okay.
But I can respect what he's doing. I think he relies too much on that shock moment, because he had some luck with that Ricochet thing, where they flew across.
Well, and he had that match with Roman, and he looked good in that match.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But I mean, that's how much faith they have in this kid.
Well, he signed a full contract. He's full time now.
They put him in with Roman, and I mean, he could have failed miserably. That would have been exposed in that. And when he had that kind of spotlight, and he didn't. He stepped up.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good. That you're besides Kal-El on my shows, you are the first person that actually had a pro aspect about him. Like I
mean, if you're booing him, he's doing his job.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like he stepped up.
Yeah, I think that promo that they had, in the Performance Center, Kevin Owens come in and they were like, breaking up a melee. I thought that was good.
And he's doing all that extra stuff, and a lot of people they're not doing. A lot of people aren't doing that kind of stuff. So is it coming from his head to do this extra stuff? And like he's kicking it to creative, like, hey, why don't we do this? And,
Yeah. So, what was your best match of the card?
I thought the men's rumble was good.
I thought it was crisp. I thought it was crisp. No surprises, except for Andrade. Yeah. But I mean, that was, and I knew that was coming.
I never realized how short he was.
Yeah, he's not a big dude.
And I seen Charlotte standing next to him in like pictures from like social media, and I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, he's not a big dude.
I didn't realize
he got a raw deal in AEW. I think AEW. I had an interview like before you come on. I had an interview with Dominic D'Angelo, who does podcasts with RVD and stuff, and he said, when Cody left, that took the air out of the sails of AEW.
Oh yeah, I mean they have all those WWE guys, and over there they should have been main eventers, and Cesaro and
Yep.
like
Well,
Cesaro.
Moxley could take a shotgun to the head and still come up, kick out.
Cesaro should have been the champion in WWE.
Yeah, we talked about that back in the old show. And it's the same thing.
I truly think that he could have been something there, and then they're just like even Miro, Rusev. I mean, those guys are all kind of like where they were in WWE.
Yep.
And and then you got that little kid, Taz's kid, in like main storylines. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that kid.
Get the piss out of here.
Yeah, no offense, I like Dominic Mysterio because he's actually getting booed. He's a great heel.
He's on the Logan Paul thing.
Yeah,
I want to hate him.
You can't. I mean, I hate. He's doing his job.
From a business perspective, they've put him in situations and he stepped up.
Yeah, he was supposed to see in that Rumble. He was supposed to take out Brock, but Braun Breaker took the Brock spot because
I love that guy.
All that situation. Who, Braun Breaker?
Yeah, I'm excited for.
I wish they just changed the name to Steiner.
I would. You just stole my thunder. I wish they would call him Steiner. I've been saying that from the beginning.
Yeah,
they market him in those cheesy '90s singlets that the brothers wore in the WCW. Like, I hate them. They did wear they put the Mack truck jacket on them once, which was cool. But yeah, I mean they've at least made nice with the Steiner brothers. I wish they would at least acknowledge.
Yeah, I think that's what they should do. Hopefully,
when he changes the roster, they make him a Steiner.
Yeah, I hope. Well, I mean that whole situation. What's your take on the on the debacle of all that crazy shit that Vince? What do you think about that?
I mean, he could only elude it so much, so long. I mean, I'm sure there's been 100 of these over the years. That he's eluded, he's paid off, whatever. At this point, let sleeping dogs lie. Let him go. I mean, that doesn't discount what saying what he did wasn't wrong, but at this point it's over.
Everybody knew what he was doing.
You wanted to hurt him in the beginning, like at the peak of everything when he was still relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's just a cartoon character that shows up at press conferences.
Yeah, now he's going to be sitting at home watching stuff on TV because he's not going to be doing jack diddly nothing.
And I guess they're going to get rid of all his guys.
Well, we'll see if they. I tried to listen to Bruce Pritchard's podcast, and he didn't say anything of the sort. They didn't get brought up by Conrad, but Conrad is actually every podcast he has brought it up with Eric Bischoff and other podcasts. I've actually heard stuff.
I know that they're saying Brock's tied into this somehow.
Yeah, I guess Brock's tied in because he was like wanting to hook up, and I don't know, he had Sable at home. I mean, I don't know, man. It's all crazy. John Laurinaitis, he got fired, and then now he's turning.
Laurinaitis is married to the Bellas.
The Bellas. Mom. Yeah. Well, Laurinaitis is turning over and fucking turning on Vince as of today.
Yes. That's when everything's starting to fall apart now.
Yeah. And I mean, Vince is 80-some years old. I mean, hopefully, I just hope that they keep the WWE Network somewhere so I can actually watch the old shit. That's all I'm worried about.
Is it going to stay on Peacock or is it going to go with Netflix?
I don't know. This new company, they could go back to charging pay-per-views again.
I like the way it is now.
I do too, man. I got Peacock for free, and I have one of those streaming services from my good old Blair. I'm good. I'm
gonna have to give him a call.
Yeah. So hey, before we get out of here, do you want to promote all your stuff and how people can get a hold of you, Todd? And I appreciate you coming on tonight, and we were shooting the shit, and
I think we probably could have went for 3 hours, Bob.
Oh yeah, I know. We could talk forever. And you can come on anytime, brother. You got an open,
man.
you
I
got an
would
open
love to.
invitation all the time, man.
All right, so the show's called Club Sandwich. All the socials are Club Sandwich 412. That's YouTube. That's TikTok, Facebook, everything. Club Sandwich 412. Our broadcasting partner is Oneberg. It is the largest social media site in all of Pittsburgh. Oneberg, Oneberg.com, Oneberg on Facebook, Oneberg on Instagram. Um, we release a new episode every Thursday. We're in episode 5 coming up next week. Yuli's was this week. We wrapped the season up, season 6, or episode 6 on the 15th with Woolies and the Holy Moly.
The Holy Moly.
ClubSandwich412.com. You can get merchandise. It also takes you into
and you guys can book the cast too.
Yeah, Big D's a comic. So if there's a comedy show and you want Big D to come on, be on your comedy show, like I'll do interviews like this all day, charity events, anything. I mean, anything that we can promote this thing, and if we can help people in the process, even better. Next week I'm doing the Wolfpack Challenge in Brookline, the kickstand. We'll be doing it live, but if you want to come, it's right on Brookline Boulevard by the Cannon. I'm going to eat this food challenge. 2 foot-long Italian hoagies and a pound of fries. I got a half hour to do it. If you don't want to see it in person, it will be on live on all our socials on Oneberg and Club Sandwich. And I'll just wrap it up with the Yoli's episode 4. It's out right now. All the proceeds from the Natty Fat Stack sandwich is $20. All the proceeds, and you can donate if you go to Yoli's Cucina and Craft House on socials and on their website. You can donate to the Polar Plunge charity stuff, but all the proceeds go for the sandwich to the Special Olympics and the Polar Plunge. And if they reach their goal, Big D and I will wear Speedos. So
that'll be something.
Just
come on, America. Yeah,
and,
I'll be sharing it too.
If you know about a sandwich and you want us to check it out, or just message us, go to clubsandwich412.com and send us an email, or we even have a phone number, 412-407-SHOW. You can call us and leave a voicemail, and we'll check it out. We'll go and if they're 5-star worthy, we'll get them on the air, or even any feedback about the show, anything. But this was truly an honor and a pleasure to hang out with you and talk about. It's weird talking about myself because I'm usually the person that does the interview. Man, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, I like your show. I like the concept. I think it's great, and anything I can do to share it. I've been, hey, we've been friends for years, man, and you got stuff going on. And
I'm doing the numbers tonight really blew me away. All the way back to USCW. That's so crazy.
I know it is. It's a small, man. It's something.
We're old, man.
I know. It takes me a little bit. I gotta pull on the rope, man, to get out of bed, and you know what I mean. Like I still work out, but I ain't nothing like I used to be. But that, hey, I mean, I can still hang. I got good 30 seconds somehow if I have to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got to end it quick and dirty.
Yeah. But Todd, thank you so much. Thank you for helping me out in this crazy world of podcasting, because if it wasn't for you helping me out, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I'm at, you know what I mean? And I also put it out there for Mav and Cable too, I mean, those guys, they're a big
the door isn't shut, so anytime you need anything, I'm here.
I know. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Too, and everybody, watch his show, watch Club Sandwich. You know what? It made me so hungry. I'm talking about it like all day, so if you got a chance to get in the Pittsburgh area, go to these places.
You pick one next time you're in town. We'll go.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to find I'm trying to find one in Indiana County to get a show, but there is not. I'm telling you, I got a better chance of seeing Jesus Christ than have a good sandwich.
Let's try to link up for SmackDown in April. You want to go down there?
I'll do something.
Yeah, let's try to link up. I think they're coming April 19th.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
April. Okay.
Yeah, let's link up.
Okay.
We'll pregame at one of those spots.
One of those spots. Eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
You be the chooch.
Okay. Okay. I'll see if some boys up here come down. We'll have an entourage of hoagies.
Yeah, bring Stryker.
Oh, man.
Dog.
Oh, man. There's be a lot. Yeah, he likes his pickled pizza and shit, so I don't know. But, hey, Todd, like I said, it was an honor you coming on. Anytime you got anything to promote, tag me. I'll share it as much as I can for you and do what I can for you, brother.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Everybody, Double D, Todd DeFazio, the host of Club Sandwich. Todd, thank you so much.
All right, brother.
That's awesome. I love you too. Thank you, everybody. Good night. And like I said, hit subscribe to Triple B Experience and also to Club Sandwich. It was a great show tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we shall see you.